Like, she just be up. So I get a towel. I'm like wobbling with the towel through my legs. I'm like, Nanny, my water just broke. She's like, what? Like, she hopped up. I'm like, I need you to sew zippers on my caftan. Where's my caftan? I'm about to go get my caftan. Because this is just how dramatic I am. Like, it's crazy. But this is just going to show that I was not prepared for the NICU. I'll be right back. Okay, so this isn't the one I was gonna get, but this was one of them that she put a zipper on too. So this was just a regular, like, dashiki caftan. It's really good quality. It's like, this is the real deal. It's like no plastic, you know. But I had her to put the zipper in there for me. Because I'm like, it was another one besides this. And I'm like, I need to be cute. Like, I don't want to just be wearing those hospital gowns or whatever. Like, I want to wear my caftans because I went and bought them. So my grandma, it's 4 o'clock in the morning, and she's like, okay, I'll go. Like, nobody was, like, I don't know why people were following my lead as if I wasn't a crazy person. But they were following my lead. So I'm like, babe, well, I don't want to have to not be able to eat. Can you make me some shrimp and grits? He's like, okay. So he makes me some shrimp and grits. And then he makes me shrimp and grits. And then what happened? He makes me shrimp and grits. Oh, Nanny's in the basement sewing zippers. And shout out to my grandfather, R.I.P. R.I.P. Grandpa. He rushed over there to help. And he rushed to the house or whatever. He didn't live there, but he rushed over. And he's just like, what? Like, everybody's confused. Like, why are we not rushing to the hospital? So I called my doula. Shout out to my doula, babe. Imani Alenko. Follow her. And she was like, you need to call the hospital. I was like, I just want to take a shower. Like, I was literally planning on doing all of my labor at home. Like, this was kind of an emergency, but I was just in la la land, like, we're going with the plan. We have a birth plan. We're going with the birth plan. So I called the midwife. I called my original midwife. Because once I found out I was twins, I had to switch to a high-risk doctor. So I couldn't go to my midwife anymore. So I called my midwife, not my high-risk doctor. I called my midwife. And she's like, I think you should call the hospital, and I think you should head on in. I'm like, from home. And she was just like, no, I think you should just at least, go in. So I'm like, okay. Hi, Cosmic Jewel. And so we're talking about anxiety and like how I noticed my anxiety, like how it progressed and what happened like between postpartum anxiety, depression, and so on. So I'm just going through that story. So I'm like in the middle of my birth story. And thank you for stopping by. So I called the midwife, and she was just like, yeah, I definitely think you should head in. I'm like, are you sure? She's like, yep. I'm like, okay. So, I'm like, scratch the bath. Like, I had called my doula and everything, and I'm like, taking a bath. I'm like, I'm going to be taking a bath or whatever. Or a shower or whatever. She was like, okay. So, literally, she beat me there because that's just how much BS I was doing. So, she was like, okay, so we start getting ready. I finally, realized, like, okay, we're in a rush. Like, so I get into rush mode. And now at this point, the contractions start kicking in. So it's all cute and fluffy and entertainment. It's the TV, you're in TV mode up until the contractions kick in. And then you're just like, you bitch, you mother. Don't talk to me. Don't look at me. Don't breathe near me. So I don't, at that point I have an attitude. I don't want to talk to anybody. I don't want to look at anybody. And, mind you, I tell my husband because we were moving from granddad's to my grandma's. And we had a cat, and Granddad said we had to come get the cat because he had to do something. I don't know, something was going on. He probably making it up, but so, this is my other granddad. So, not the one who came to help out during, labor and stuff. So, my husband, he went to go get the cat and bring her to Nanny's. Because I'm like, we'll be in labor for a long time, so we don't really want to have to wait. Let's just get her out of the way now. Really, extremely bad idea. Like, just going back to... Hi, cutie. Just going back to, why are we following my lead when I'm clearly in an alternative state of mind at the time? So, we're rushing to the hospital or whatever. I'm just like, hurry up. Don't talk to me. Don't look at me. So we get there, and it's early in the morning, so none of all of the normal hospital stuff that's supposed to be open, none of that is really functioning because it's really, really early in the morning. So we get to labor and delivery, and they want to do their exams and whatever, and I'm just like, I don't want to answer no questions. I just want y'all to do whatever y'all gotta do. Let's just get this show on the road. All of that natural stuff, that was out the window. I needed fucking drugs. Drug me up. Beat me up, Scotty. So, you got your chair? You wanted to play your game?
Yes.
Okay, you can play your game.
Hey, where's my basketball? Where's my basketball?
I don't know where your basketball is. So,
A basketball, my phone.
your phone.
Yes.
Yeah. So, the people, they're coming in with the ultrasound. I'm just like, can you please hurry up? And they're just like, well, we have to do this. We have to do that. You have to take your nose ring. I'm like, fuck this nose ring. Everything can go. So, they were like, reminds me, I gotta go.
Hey, Papa.
I gotta go put some stuff in the dryer. So we progress, and they're just like, okay, one of the babies are breech, so we were probably gonna have to get you a C-section. I'm like, let's get it. We don't even gotta talk. Let's just get this show on the road. I was so rude, but I was in pain. I'm always willing to bet that I need to ask other twin moms, people who have singletons and twin moms, which one is worse, twin contractions or single contractions? Because it was too much. So they were they had said, oh, so we got all that together. I'm like, cool. Mind you, I'm in a whole other, still in an alternative state of mind. I don't even realize that my husband is not back yet from me sending him on a dummy mission to get the cat. So they're like, we're gonna have to hurry up, and I'm just like, okay. So I had to choose between, because only one person can come in the room, so I had to choose between my grandma and my doula. I don't remember who I chose. I was all drugged up. And, the babies come out. They are premature. Now, what I was saying is, I didn't realize, I was 35 weeks. So they had been telling me that there was a chance that the babies would come early, but that didn't register to me as NICU time. So I find out that day that they're going to be in the NICU, and I'm just like, what? I'm like, so when one was on a breathing tube and something else, and I was still out of it. All of my sister friends were there, my family, and no babies. We didn't have no babies. I was in this room with no babies that I had been carrying for 8 months. And I was just like, well, because I just had plans. I'm just like, okay, well, when are we going to do skin to skin? I kind of wanted them to latch as soon as they came out. I got these outfits. I got these newborn outfits with me, and I got, my caftan. We were going over my caftan with the zipper. Shall we? This is what I had my grandma sew on while I'm in labor. I'm like, I need you to put my zippers on the caftan. I was ready, ready. I wasn't ready, but I was ready. So yeah, they're in the NICU, and I was just like, what the hell? So I tried not to like harbor in that space. I'm like, okay, let me get to the pumping. Like, I need to get to producing milk. I need to get the show on the road, because, you know. So mind you, that was the same weekend as my baby shower. Like, they were born 2 days, no, one or 2 days before my baby shower. So I was just like, so they told me, they were like, well, the babies are going to be here for a few weeks. Devastated. So they told me that I can leave. I could stay in like another day, because you're only supposed to stay like 2 or 3 days. But they told me that I could stay another day. And I was like, well, I want to, get ready for the baby shower. My best friend was coming into town from Georgia. Like, it was just a lot. So I was just like, okay, I'll tough this out to get the baby shower. Mind you, I had a C-section. And people don't tell you before you have kids, like, or before you have a C-section, like, how serious a C-section is. They be passing them out like it's Halloween. Oh, one for you. Trick or treat. Here you go. But that is a very severe surgery. Like, if you think about that spiritually, that's your womb. That's your womb being cut open. Like, that's not normal. They try to make it normal, but it's not normal. So, I mean, I get that it happens in emergency, but they be passing them out like candy, like I said. So, hey, Libra Sun Goddess. So, you too, sweetie. So, I was in a lot of pain. Like, emotionally, I was in pain. Physically, I was in pain. Like, I could barely walk. Like, it was, oh my God, it was just so, it was awful. Like, and before, I didn't even take those, like, drugs, like the Percocets and stuff, because I was like, I ain't taking no Percocets. Ain't that that was a street drugs. Like, that's what I was thinking. But then it was like, yeah, it has its purpose. It serves its purpose. So I was taking them, and it was just hitting me, like, because I would have to go back and forth to the hospital, and I wasn't, like, gonna just let them have, like, Similac or whatever. I'm like, I gotta get this milk pumping. Like, and I did it. Like, I was pumping that milk. They were supposed to be in there. They were projected to be in there for maybe a month, and I got them out in 2 weeks, because I wasn't playing. Like, I was on the clock. Like, all right, we gotta take this milk up there. Like, we gotta get this milk to babies. We gotta get this milk. And they were, like, progressing really fast. So, but meanwhile, I was depressed. My mom was in town. She was further depressing me. And I just felt like alone, and I just couldn't understand why I didn't have my babies. Like, it was like, it definitely added another layer to the postpartum depression, which I know that any mom that's experienced NICU can relate to that, because it's a scary, it's a scary thing. Like, your baby is with strangers. Like, this is my baby that I had in my belly for 9 months, and now you're telling me that I have to leave them overnight in a plastic container with strangers? Like, it was a lot. So even through that, I was still trying to push through. I was still, being in the wheelchair and everything, because it was painful. Like, that cesarean was very painful. And so, family came to see them. It was cool because we weren't really ready for them, like, because they were coming a month early. So emotionally, I was ready, but, like, physically and, like, at our home and stuff, we weren't ready. Like, we still had to move a lot of stuff around. We hadn't moved our furniture, which reminds me, I just thought about it. I was saying before, with my son's pregnancy, we were moving on that day, and then delivery, and with them, we were moving that day too. So clearly, we was, I don't know. But so I was an emotional wreck. And it just wasn't really getting any better. But luckily, my husband, he had planned, while like throughout the whole pregnancy, he had planned, well, not the whole pregnancy, but once we found out it was twins, he knew how hard that it would be, as far, because, you know, I had postpartum with my son. He knew that I would have postpartum. I didn't realize I would have postpartum like that, but he knew. So he prepared and just kind of like saved up for saved up so he can be off for like at least 2 or 3 months. Because I'm sure, you know, most mothers can relate to this too. When you first pregnant or you first have your baby, everybody's like, oh, I'm going to be there, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, I'm going to be so supportive, I'm going to buy this, I'm going to buy that. And then when you have a baby, you're just sitting in the room with a crying child by yourself, alone. So he was like prepared for that. So he was prepared for that. So, you know, he stayed home with me. We ended up moving again. We moved cities, and we moved to a different city in Ohio, which was cool. Like, we just wanted a new experience, which, damn, like, now that I think about it, the same thing happened. Like, with my son, we moved on the day he was born, and then, like, 2 or 3 months later, we ended up moving to another city. And then with the twins, too, we moved on the day they were born, and then 2 or 3 months later, we moved to a different city. Is that weird? Like, that's weird. So, you know, we were just like, we need a fresh start. We need something new. And we just gonna do it. So we did it. It was, you know, it was pretty hard or whatever, but it was cool. You know, because we did move somewhere where I did have, like, a support system and family still. So, we go, okay, so this is what happened. This is what triggered me. So I was on Facebook talking to somebody. They had made a post about, like, parenting and, you know, like, kind of, it was something about generational curses or something like that. And I think I had shared the post on my page, and my mom had went to the post, and I'm up here making jewelry, and I lost a piece. Here it is. I had shared a post about something about generational curses or something. And my mom had went to the post. Like, she had went to the original post, and she saw my comment on there. So the next morning, I wake up to buku messages, like essays, like just scrolling up my DM, my Facebook DM, just like. And I'm just like, what the fuck? Like, what? Like, what? So I had kind of like snapped. And I just started going off. I just started typing. I'm going off on her. Then I go on Facebook and I'm like, I'm going to out her. So I just, like, word vomit. And everybody's like, are you okay? Like, what the heck is going on? And I'm just like, I'm just tired of shit. Like, nobody does this. And she just keeps doing that. And blah, 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 blah. So, and she was trying to, like, gaslight me, like, what's wrong? Like, why are you acting like that? Like, what's the problem? Like, girl, you are sitting here, like, in my DMs right now, talking to me about stuff that happened when I was a kid, like, what's going on? Why my phone ain't charging? You know what? Okay, here we go. Hold on. Phone charging. Try this again. So I just end up going off, and my husband was like, "Are you okay?" I'm like, "I think I'm gonna go to a therapist." Like, I just got download. Like, I think I'm gonna go to a therapist. So I got to research it. I was searching for a black female therapist, and I found one. And because I had insurance, so like, let's get this thing going. And I started going to therapy, and that was when I found out she was the one that told me that my mom was a narcissist, which helped. And she also, you know, they give you your initial, screen or whatever. She told me that I had a general anxiety disorder. So this is the symptoms that I forgot. So, and I, like, people can relate. They don't really know. Like, hey, now, welcome back. So, we're just through the story. We didn't went through the birth story, but we just that when I had like, my mom had triggered me by kind of like stalking me on Facebook and seeing what I was doing, and she saw me respond to she saw me share a post about like generational curses and parenting and stuff like that I had commented on, and from that she decided to DM me, and she sent me like the long message. When you were a child, you did this, when you did that, and you did this, blah blah blah, and you're so bad. And so I was just like, and I snapped. So I went off on her. I went off Facebook. It was just like a chain reaction. And then I was just like, hey, I'm going to therapy. I was on the hunt for a black female. It's not just me. Y'all see this shit. Y'all see this. Okay. Stay in my hand, bruh. Stay in my hand. So, I was on the hunt for a black female therapist. I found her. She diagnosed me with a general anxiety disorder. She also told me that my mom is a narcissist, which just finding out those 2 bits of information was just like hugest weight lifted off of my shoulder, because I literally thought I was going crazy. Probably, dude. If your mother living in Atlanta, because my mother living in Atlanta. So, she was like, told me that or whatever, and this huge weight off my shoulder. So I was just like, what I was somebody, y'all can probably relate to this, because like I would just like see stuff, like I would just get these dangerous decisions. Like we would be driving and I would be like scared to drive on hey sisters. So I would be like scared, like driving on the edge of like, say it's like we're driving on the street and it's like, you know, they have like the little stopper cliff thing right there, but I would see us falling off the bridge, you know, like it would be stuff like that. Or I would be yelling like at my husband, like, don't like that, or don't it. Like it was just little things, but they all contribute to one big thing, that is anxiety. And once she gave me this paper, and I bet you I got the paper. She gave me this paper and it just had all of these lists of things that I was dealing with, and I was just like, like, I don't know about y'all, but it was literally the hugest weight lifted off my shoulders, because I wasn't crazy. Like I literally thought I was crazy. Like just like, what is wrong? She was like, between postpartum and then just a general anxiety disorder, as well as having a narcissistic mother, you know, since you've been going through it. I just don't know what to do. So that helped tremendously. Then at that same time, my husband, he was also dealing with his own like different like mental triggers, whatever, from growing up with a dark mom. So he grew up with a very abusive narcissistic mother as well. Like we were no contact with our mothers, just because of how, you know, narcissistic and dangerous and they are. So you know, he had found this herb by the name of Kratom. And where's my other phone? So he had found an herb by the name of Kratom. And he was just like, because he was working at a job. Both of us are the same way, where we don't really do good, like working for people, like stuff like that. We just don't really thrive in that like those type of environments. Like we just be seeing stuff. It's like, oh, how you gonna tell me what to do and you ain't got your shit together? Like that's how. So he was working at this job. He was just like, okay, I just need something because this is crazy. Like I just can barely do this. So he looked up like herbs for like PTSD D or something like that. And he found Kratom. And I was breastfeeding or whatever, so I was just like, yeah, I ain't taking that. Like, I don't know what that is. Like, blah, blah, blah. And he was like, okay. And he was saying that it was helping him significantly. So one day, it was my birthday, and we had went on a little vacation. It's still in the state, but we had like a little family vacation or whatever. And he was like, why don't you just try the Kratom? And I was like, okay. Y'all, the first time I started, now I'm the type of person that always had a tightness in my chest. Like, always had a tightness in my chest constantly. Now this herb, literally, I drank it and I just felt like release, like, like it was just like, it took away that chest tightness. It took away that chest tightness from me, and it lasted for like 3 days. It also, by that time, I had realized I had a severe like pain in my back. That's all like the epidurals and some things. What's for the C-section? Spinal tap. The just carrying pregnancies and twins. I had really bad back pain, and it helped that too. Like, I'm just, what is Dachshund? What is it? So I was about to not look it up. I had saved some things because I was gonna do it. I was gonna do this live on screen record, but when I went for a walk, I was just like, let me just go live. Then I'm trying to open up. Okay, here we go. So I have found it or whatever. I mean, not found it, but he was just like, just try it or whatever. So it helped. So for like maybe 3 days had went by, I didn't have tightness in my chest, and I was like, and I hadn't taken it again because you kind of like build up a tolerance to it. So like in the beginning, you only like once every 3 days, or depending on how severe your pain is and stuff. So okay, so what's Kratom? Kratom is a large tree of the coffee family, native to Southeast Asia. Kratom can grow up to 6 feet tall. What is Kratom used for? Kratom, like coffee, has been used for thousands of years for medicinal purposes. Kratom is frequently used for treatment of pain, depression, anxiety, fatigue, as well as curing drug addiction. So, is Kratom safe to eat? Yes, Kratom is as safe as coffee and can be eaten or brewed into a tea or drink. Kratom is less habit-forming than coffee, and eating too much usually only produces nausea. That's true. Many news reports will label Kratom as a drug, but Kratom is no more a drug than coffee is a drug. So, I also noticed that, because I did take it, I was still breastfeeding, I also noticed that it was affecting them in a good way. Like, they were calm babies anyway, but they were like super calm. Like, they was just like chill. Like, we was all just chill. Like, it was just, I can't find nothing to complain about. I'm just chilling. Like, it was literally a godsend. It was literally a godsend. Because now I still have back pain, so I take it for back pain, but as far as taking it for anxiety, like, it's been, therefore now, so it's been 4 years I've been taking this herb. And I'll say 3 years, because they were maybe 6 months. So it's been 3 years, and like, it takes a lot. Like, it takes a lot for me to get, like, my mom would have to like walk through the door right now for me to get that tightness in my chest. Like, how you get that like immediate tightness, or then when you have the one that's just kind of like sitting there all day. Like, so I would get that immediate like sink in my stomach type of anxiety, just dealing with like, and that's why like I don't be having a care in the world. And this is something that I have been wanting to talk about to Black women specific for years, because like I wanted to build a platform. I wanted to be the one to talk about this, to bring this to the forefront, just kind of like build a group of people who can put this out because it does not only help with anxiety and depression, which is the root of a lot of our issues, but it helps with curing addiction. It craves addictions. Like the white people, if y'all look this up, the white people are taking this in droves, saving their lives. It's saving their lives because we have, we know people that it was like, okay, it's either take this kratom or shoot this heroin, and it's kind of like save their life. Like it helps people who have like addiction to like extreme, like opioids, like heroin and Percocets and all of that. Like it curbs those cravings. So there's a site called Kratom Bible. Actually, I was supposed to see some. I forgot that. Let me look at Kratom Bible. And we have our family members are taking this. It helped my mother-in-law, my husband's mother, her with her like diabetes because it regulates like blood sugar and stuff. It helped my mom has severe arthritis and depression, all that. She got everything. And then like family members of mine are taking it and they notice pain. Like I don't really know anybody that's like an addict that has it, not really, but as far as like the other stuff that we deal with on it. So the Kratom Bible is like the best website. I know some really good vendors that have like organic products, so if somebody wants to try it, let me know. But I'm gonna pull up the other site. I'll read you all of stuff that helps with, if my phone will load. Like what the hell? Why my phone ain't? We got all the phones around here. I don't know why this is acting slow like this. It's my favorite site though because it has a plethora of information about it. It has the doses, the uses, all the different strands. There's literally hundreds. There's hundreds of strains. How do I say that? Yo, why is my phone tripping? Should I turn off the Wi-Fi? Oh, you back? You been back? Alright, let me see. Site unreachable. La, la, la. Oh, from the Kratom. We were talking about, the Kratom and how it kind of just... You gotta watch this over again. Wow. It was a sinkhole in Guatemala. That's where my husband is from. And we were just looking at sinkholes in Cleveland. Like, is that weird or nah? Why this thing not loading? No? Okay. So, this is the site. It's loads of information. But, okay. So, it's based in Indonesia. So, the medicinal effects of... Oh. You little baby. Okay. The medicinal effects of kratom are both highly flexible and broad due to variation in alkaloid profile between plants as well as the unique qualities of the alkaloids themselves, which are largely unlike any others known to exist. Traditionally has been used for pain relief, mood lifting, energy promotion, anti-anxiety, insomnia relief, and system stimulation. That's another really good one. I drink a lot of water, but I also take kratom, so I don't really get sick. Like, I don't be getting sick. And according to my diet, I should be getting sick. Anti-leukemic, anti-malarial, anti-inflammatory, and lowered blood sugar. So, kratom can effectively reduce pain from conditions such as migraines and cluster headaches, back pain, minor injuries, multiple sclerosis. We have heard of people, had multiple sclerosis and they this versus that. Also, fibromyalgia is on here as well. Hold on, where are we at? Or did I already say that? Did I already say that? Because I know that's listed on here. Yes, but that is a immune disorder too, right? Something related to pain and immunity or immune system, right? Oh, general neuropathic pain, neck pain, soreness, multiple sclerosis, and that family. Low blood sugar. That it really saves lives, and I can't wait. I want to be that person. It don't even have to be me. It needs to be somebody that can get this out in front of our people. You will love stuff. Send me your address right now. Did you ever read that link? Did you ever send me your address? I don't. I know we had talked about it, but I didn't remember. I didn't send you anything. But you'll love it. You'll love it. It was a godsend. But especially for anxiety, like I was saying earlier, I don't deal with anxiety anymore. The only way I deal with anxiety is if like a tense situation happens. My mother was to walk through the door right now. I'm gonna get that tightness in my chest, But as far as the constant anxiety, even with the kids, that's another symptom. When you have anxiety, you'll find yourself lashing out on people, lashing out on your kids, Oh, really? That's good news. That's really good news. So you'll find yourself lashing out on kids, doing this, doing that, and that helps with that too. Now, eventually them kids gonna be kids. You gonna react to it, but it just helps with the it helps to not be so that. It's a godsend. It really is. And the crazy part is that it grows from the earth, It's Mother Earth is going to send us everything we need to comfort us. So yeah. That was my story, kind of working through Kratom and all that. One day I can do another video just kind of actually talking about it. Not talking about it, but showing how I get the strands, take, stuff like that. But it definitely improved quality of life. So the therapist helped me kind of get it all out, get it all out, realize that I'm not crazy. And then the Kratom helped with those symptoms. And my therapist, she knew that I was taking it too. And she didn't want me to become dependent on it. It was which I can understand why, can become dependent on that, or Prozac and Xanax and Antax and tabs and whatever else, So it's I'd rather something from earth that is gonna destroy my skin, it's gonna build up my immune system and all of that stuff, versus taking, a prescription drug or whatever. And I've never taken prescription drugs, or besides labor, but I've never taken pain medicine for just recreational purposes or anything like that. I just truly prefer natural medicine over everything. But that can be hard. It's not really hard, but you have to kind of pair it. My screen got dark. You have to pair it with a a kind of clean diet for it to work how you want it to work. So I definitely prefer natural methods, and I definitely think people should try it. And for anybody in this video, I do know a really good organic vendor that they send me samples all the time, so I have no problem sending people samples just because I want them to get the help. I want them to get the help. want our people to know about this because it will improve your quality of life. Like, it's literally a godsend. Now, the only thing is, like, if you take too much, like, you have to be really careful with dosage because you have to start small. So you start off like a half teaspoon, like 3 grams. But you start small, you kind of work up your tolerance as you need to. But if you take too much too soon, you're going to want to fight. Like, you know, throwing up and shit. Like, hypertension. Which one is that? What's that related to? Like blood sugar, blood pressure. But I was reading off the symptoms. It does help with lowering your blood sugar. Like my mother-in-law was taking it. It was helping her with her diabetes, blood pressure. Yeah, it does help with that. So yes, guys, other 2 children will be returning. Me and my girl had our date. They're here. I can smell them. I can smell them when they're walking up my door. I just like. So yeah, like that's crazy. But I appreciate talking with you guys. I'll get these videos up to my YouTube. And I appreciate hanging out with y'all. And I'm glad that we can kind of talk and relate to these things on the same level. Because I know a lot of us are going through the same things. And we just really know how to get help. So, I love you guys. And I hope you have an amazing weekend. Y'all hear the